Hey, what's up everyone? Yeah, just making another video for today. Just progress on those three blades and just random whatever, a couple of minutes of rambling, how I do. Um, Last night, overnight, I did the heat treat that I was talking about, the maintained temperatures for a couple of hours. So basically, when they go in, they start looking like that. When they come out, they come out looking like stuff like these. So basically what I was doing was tempering the steel just enough so that this straw color, when you're heat treating stuff, machine builders or people that have watched me or talked to me about heat treating um, my frames for my tattoo machines, they will they'll know what I'm talking about. And basically, it goes through like a color process. And as it starts getting hot, it starts going a very very light gold. It starts getting a little darker to almost like a straw color. When it passes that, it gets into the purples. That's basically what's happened here. It's gone just, you can see where it's still a very light tone, almost like this, where it's like straw and purple mixed together. Um, so basically what this does is when you quench the blade, when you first quench it, you're shocking the metal into stopping the process of uh, it's basically, if you think about like boiling water, it's excited, it's heated, it's moving, it's that's why it becomes molten, that's why you can move it and hammer it and stuff. And when you quench, what you're doing is shocking that movement and you're stopping it dead in its tracks. It doesn't have a chance to relax. It just rigidly kind of stops what it's doing. That's how you get a hard blade that you can sharpen really, really good, that you can whack into metal desks and have relatively not even a single mark or a scratch anywhere on it. So when you do that, sometimes it can be too hard. It can, depending on what you need it for, of course. If it's too hard, it's going to almost be like it's going to have glass-like qualities where if it gets hit in the right place, sometimes it'll take it. Tempered glass is tough as hell sometimes. You can whack on it in the right place and it'll be perfectly fine. But if you find that one weak spot, you find that one little spot where the grains didn't come together right, something in the metal in the original before you even did anything to it, just there was an imperfection, whatever it is, all the better chance that that's the exact spot that it's going to shatter when it's that hard. So by tempering it, by doing this, what I'm doing is basically making it so there's a little bit of movement to the metal and I can actually flex it, and I can, when I hit something, it's going to have a slight bit more of shock absorption, and it's going to take a little bit more of that impact instead of, again, looking for somewhere for that shock to exit, basically. And that's when you'll get a shattered blade or something that almost looks like, if you've ever dropped something like that and it just hits a corner on the ground and in the middle of it you see something just kind of explode and that's where it shatters. It's the same thing. It's finding a weak spot and that shock is going to exploit that weak spot and open it up and shatter, or you know, in that case, best case scenario is you're going to get cracks or surface delaminations and stuff like that, depending on how you've put it together, if it's Damascus, if it's forged, whatever. Um, Basically, at this point, these are ready to rock. These are kind of exactly where I want them to be. That is the competition chopper that I was showing off. Now, when these things get the finished sanding and stuff like that, they're going to be back down to shiny. They're going to just look like metal. That that purple and that straw and stuff is strictly on the surface, and it's just a result of uh, the heat process to, without getting technical, oxidization, uh, the process of the chemicals in the actual metal, the molecular structure and whatnot, and just how it's affected by heat. So that's the chopper. That is the cleaver. This is going to be fun. I'm probably making a handle for this tonight because I might want to try to give it to him tomorrow. And This one looked really funky when it came out. This is the kitchen knife for my brother, and you can see that stripe of the, oh, there goes my speaker. I've been using it a little bit, I guess. Um, so it's actually just kind of softened everywhere around that, and it's still got a lot of rigidity to the actual spine of it, which I didn't exactly plan, but it kind of works better because it's a kitchen knife and I want it to feel really good and solid and stiff. So that was a very happy accident. Yeah, and oh, and I also finished. I didn't do the acid etch on the Damascus blade because I wanted to actually get it a little cleaner first. I wanted to do a finishing, kind of a really good smooth sanding on it, and I wanted to lighten up the tang and handle area and stuff a little bit more, and give myself some better options for pins and stuff. So that, I'll turn the light a little bit this way. There's still no final, there's no final grind on it. I'm gonna do that after the acid etch. Acid etching tends to kind of eat away a little bit at the quality of the edge. So what I actually am gonna do is cover it in a little bit of nail polish, and that nail polish is going to cover it. It won't be affected at all by the acid bath. Um, Scarily enough. And girls put that stuff on their hands and stuff all the time. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's not affected by it at all. So what I'm gonna do is actually paint the entire probably bottom quarter inch, if not more, and that way hopefully it's not affected. Uh, I don't mind that it's not gonna have the pattern in it so much because I plan on sharpening that a bunch of times anyways as I use it, or I guess if it ends up in someone else's hands as they use it, it's going to need to be sharpened. But you can see I didn't get a complete mirror finish, but I didn't really want to spend the extra time doing it, especially because it is Damascus, and when that pattern comes out, it's gonna look so cool that that's all you're gonna see. You're not gonna be looking at a couple of tiny little embellishments and stuff that kind of ended up there. So yeah, that's the plan for the rest of the day. I'm actually going to wash this in some acetone right now and get it all cleaned up and ready to put into the ferrochloride. And after that, I'm going to put a finishing sand on the rest of these blades. I'm gonna get everything mocked out for the handles and stuff. I planned on doing that last night. Oops. I went and hung out with my lady and got a little bit too comfortable and stuff like that, so I just didn't end up back down here doing any of it. So yeah, that's my plans for the rest of the day. Nothing really special. Like I said, just figured I'd give you guys a quick little progress thing, let you see what's up. Depending on how they end up later on, maybe I'll shoot something either tonight or tomorrow, whenever I kind of finish up either the next step or get a couple of handles on them or whatever. So until then, I don't know. Thanks again for anyone that's watching and stuff and following, and I'll talk to you soon.